Hi everyone! Today we're going to be talking about goal setting and what goals are and why it's important to set goals. So I'm just going to go over your bell ringer questions. And first I want you to define what a goal is to you and why it's important to set goals. And then I want you to think about 10 goals that you have that you want to complete after high school. And it can be anything. It can be that you want to travel the world, or you want to save money for a car or an apartment, or you want to graduate college, or you want to become a doctor, you want to get married, you want to have a family. So it can be anything that you want to complete after high school. I just want to get your mind thinking about your future, and because that's really important when we're setting goals. So the next slide talks about what a definition of a goal is. And goals, if you think about them, they're like blueprints or a map, and goals help you accomplish the dreams that you have in your life. But goals are more than just ideas. They have specific plans. They have steps that you need to complete and that will help you achieve what you want to do. So you can think about a goal as an aim you have, or a direction you want to go, or a blueprint of your life. And it does require action steps. A lot of the times people have many dreams, and they say, oh, I want to lose weight, or I want to run a 5K, or I want to save money for a trip. And they just have this idea in their head, but they don't really have a plan of how they're going to reach it. And so today we're going to be talking about some skills that you can have to accomplish, to reach those goals using steps, and to actually build a plan to reach those goals. So I have a fun little acronym. I love acronyms. It helps me remember things better, and so today our acronym is the word SMART. So if you can remember the acronym SMART, you'll be able to remember these goal setting skills, and it'll help you when you're in your future, when you're in any aspect of your life, because you're going to be setting goals probably even tomorrow and throughout your life. So the SMART acronym stands for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time frame. So let's go through each of these points and talk about how we're going to use these to set our goals. So specific. You want your goals to be specific and straightforward. So a lot of the times, one of the big goals that people set, especially in the new year, is that they want to lose weight. And that's a great goal to have, but how much weight? And when do they want to lose it by? And how are they going to lose the weight? What is their action plan? And so without being specific on how you're going to attain this goal, it's really hard to achieve it. So you want to make it as specific as possible. So instead of saying, I want to lose weight, you can say, I want to lose 2 pounds per week for the next month. And that makes the goal of I want to lose weight more specific. The next step is measurable. And in any goal, you want to be able to track your progress. If we can't see that we're making progress towards our goal, it's going to be really hard to keep us motivated to keep going and keep trying, because we're not perfect. We're going to make mistakes and we're going to fail, and that's just part of our human nature. And so if you don't have a way to track your progress, it's going to be really hard to keep on tracking your goal and keeping you being successful in reaching it. So you want to use some way to measure it. So in my example of I want to lose weight, I said that I wanted to lose 2 pounds per week. So I actually gave it a specific amount of weight. So I can measure that, and I can use a tool called a scale to track my progress in that. I can measure my weight in the morning each day and write it down in a journal, and so I can track that throughout the week to see if I've lost the 2 pounds by the end of the week. Then the A stands for attainable, and a lot of times people make goals that sometimes aren't really good goals for them. Going back to the weight loss goal, there's a lot of people that say, oh, I'm going to lose 50 pounds in 2 months because I'm going to get ready to go on this vacation, or I'm going to get ready for this big event like a wedding or something, and I need to fit in this specific dress or suit or swimsuit, and they losing 50 pounds in 2 months really is not a healthy way to lose weight. It's not recommended by the standards that we have, and so once they don't start seeing that weight loss come off really rapidly, they're going to start giving up. And so you want to make sure that you can reach your goals. So it's okay to say, I only want to lose 1 pound per week. Start small. Start with a goal that you can reach so that you can be successful and you can see the progress that you're making, and you're going to want to keep going and keep yourself motivated. The R stands for relevant, and the goal that you set needs to be important to you. It needs to mean something to you. Just setting a goal because somebody else did it, or because your mom or dad want you to do it, like maybe graduating college or going to a specific college, if it doesn't really mean anything to you, it's going to be really hard to reach that goal. So you want to make sure that the goal, you have a reason why you want to set that goal and why you want to accomplish it, and that it's for yourself and not for anybody else. And then the T stands for time frame. And we as humans tend to procrastinate a lot. I think I have a weakness in procrastinating, or we say we're going to do it by this specific deadline, and then it comes and we're like, oh, I'm not quite there yet. So they push it back a little bit farther, and they push it back a little bit farther when they haven't met that deadline. And so by giving yourself a hard deadline, it gives you it kind of gives you a little bit of motivation to make a plan and follow it through. And you want to make sure that time frame is within your reach. It's attainable. It's not something that is impossible to do. So in my weight loss goal that I talked about earlier, I gave the time frame that you wanted to lose 2 pounds per week for the next 4 weeks. So an 8 pound of weight loss in total. So I gave myself 4 weeks to do that. And by giving ourselves that deadline, you can track your progress and readjust the goal. Maybe that was too hard for you. Maybe the 2 pounds in every week for 4 weeks, you only got 1 pound of weight loss in 4 weeks. And so at the end of that 4 weeks, you can say, I didn't do so good, and these are the reasons why. And then you can reevaluate and set a new goal. And you want to make sure you give yourself that deadline so that you don't say, oh, well, in 3 months, I'll try again. And you just keep pushing that deadline farther and farther away, because it's easy to do that. It's easy to just say, oh, it'll come again, and I'll start it again in a couple of months, and I want to lose weight, but there's no specific deadline. So make sure you give yourself a deadline so that you can actually see progress too when you are successful. So the next slide, we're going to talk about the different types of goals, because there are goals that are overall goals. We call those long-term goals, and then there's what I call the baby steps to get to those long-term goals, and those are the short-term goals. So let's talk about the short-term first. Short-term goals are the little tiny stepping stones or the action steps that you would take to create your overall goal. And these can be, the short-term goals can be achieved in hours, they can be achieved in days or weeks, but they're really a smaller set goal. It's not going to take you forever. It's not going to take you years to reach this short-term goal. And they're the action steps that you need to take to that longer, to get you to that longer goal. Long-term goals, they're the big picture. They're the ones that you're, you know, this is like maybe getting a 3.75 on your GPA for third term, or to graduate high school, or to get accepted to the University of Utah when you're going to college. So these long-term goals is the overall dream or goal that you want to achieve. So I'm going to have you practice writing short-term and long-term goals, and I have a worksheet for you that goes step by step through our SMART acronym. It starts with specific, and it's going to ask you for some action steps, how you're going to be specific. You're going to give yourself measurable. How are you going to measure this goal? So it's going to go through each of these steps. It's very straightforward. But I want you to take one of the goals that you wrote in your bell ringer and apply it to this assignment. So, you know, if it was to go to college, I want you to take that goal of I want to go to college and put this into your assignment. Go through the SMART acronym steps, and it's really straightforward, so you should be able to do that. I give you an example in this next slide. I walk you through the steps of how to make a goal of I want to go to college or I want to lose weight into a SMART goal. So in my example, I use being on time to a class or to work. Being punctual is very important. It's a very important skill to have in all aspects of your life. So if you want to get better at being on time to something, we're going to use the SMART goal acronym to work on that and give you some action steps. So for specific, instead of saying I want to be on time to school, you can say I want to be on time to my first and sixth periods 3 out of 5 days per week. One thing that's really important about goal setting is to not say I want to do it all, like all 7 days a week, or you know, I want to do this every single day. If you're really bad at being on time, if you're more late than you are on time, then you don't want to say I'm going to be on time every single day, because that's just really hard to change your behavior that quickly. So again, baby steps. Just give yourself 3 of the 5 days per week to help you achieve this, to get better at being on time, because you don't want to set yourself up for failure, because no one will continue working on becoming better if they're always failing at something. Then with a measurable, we're going to get onto our school system and we're going to track our attendance. We're going to look at it every single day, and we're going to write it down in a journal. Okay, on Monday, I was on time. Oh, Tuesday, wasn't. I was late for 6th period. Then Wednesday, oh, I was late again because I hit snooze 2 times. We're just going to track the progress, and then we're going to evaluate it when we get to the Friday. The attainable part. These are your action steps and how you're going to get to this goal. You need to start going to bed on time. Maybe you're staying up till midnight, playing video games or doing homework or sending Snapchats. So it's probably better to go to bed on time so you can get up and not hit snooze 5 times like you're doing. So we're going to change behavior. We're going to have these small action steps to get to that long-term goal. So we're going to go to bed at 10 o'clock on school nights. We're going to write out our morning routine. If it takes us 20 minutes in the shower because we want to just sit with that hot water coming, just sit in the hot shower, then we need to plan for that. If you want to eat breakfast and it takes you 30 minutes to eat breakfast because it takes you 15 minutes to decide what to eat for breakfast, then we need to plan for that and write it down. So you want to see step by step from 7 to 7:15 you're getting dressed, from 7:15 to 7:30 you're doing your hair, brushing your teeth, putting makeup on. From 7:30 to 7:45 we're eating breakfast. So you're writing each step down so you can see what your morning routine looks like. Then you can make adjustments to what things are important and what things you can cut out. You're going to only hit snooze one time. That may be so hard. And maybe you can take this and even to a smaller goal and say, you know, we're really going to focus on not snoozing so I can be on time. And then who's going to support you in this goal? Are you going to maybe have your mom come in at 7:10 and make sure you're awake, and maybe you say, Mom, tell me, or don't leave my room until I'm out of my bed. You pull the covers out and you drag me out of bed. So find someone, and whether it's your family or friends, that can help support you in this goal and that can cheer you on. We all need cheerleaders so that we can accomplish these goals. Then the R, write down why you want to achieve this goal. Why is it important to you? If it's just because you don't want your mom yelling at you, or maybe your citizenship is low at school, maybe find a deeper meaning as why you want to be on time. And it's a really good skill to be on time in many different aspects. So write down your why for the relevant. And then time. You're going to give yourself 3 weeks to get better, and then reevaluate. Look at your log in your journal. How many times were you on time during those 3 weeks? If you were good 4 of the 5 days, then you can bump yourself up and you can make a better goal. Okay, now we're going to go 4 of the 5 days a week on time. So making sure you have that deadline helps you to reevaluate and fix your goal if you need to. And then, so I gave you an example of what a long-term and a short-term goal looks like in sentence form. So the long-term goal would be, I want to be on time to first and sixth periods 3 out of 5 days a week by March 30th. You give yourself that date. And then the short-term would be, I will be in my bed by 10:30 2 out of the 5 school nights a week by March 7th. So you give yourself, that's a smaller goal that will help you achieve this overall long-term goal. So these sentence goals, I want you to look at them because they are going to be part of your project, your goal board project that I'm going to be explaining here in a little bit. So the worksheet is just kind of an exercise to get your mind remembering the SMART acronym and to help you actually take those action steps to write goals. But here's the fun part. I want you to be visionary in creating a goal board that will help you see what your goals are, to help you, to remind you, and to help motivate you to work towards those. So we're going to put all the skills we've learned in this lesson into this project. So what I'm going to have you do is I'm just going to have you get some poster board, and I want you to go looking in for magazines. You can print off Google images that you find on the internet, just newspaper, wherever you can find some images of pictures that represent your goals. So I want you to think about or come up with 5 long-term goals, and then you're going to think about 5 baby steps or 5 short-term goals to help get you to the long-term goals. Once you have those 5 long-term and 5 short-term, start searching for those images so you can get images that inspire you, that you want to look at, that help you dream and help you keep motivating to reach those goals, help you keep motivated to reach those goals. So once you get your construction board and your poster board, you're going to glue those images however you want. Be creative, be fun, and um, make it so that you want to look at it and it inspires you. So you're going to paste those images on the goal board, and I would like your short-term goals, your short-term images, to be close to your long-term. So I can see that your thought process was geared towards that you're going to create this short-term goal. This short-term goal matches or is the baby step to get me to this long-term goal. Once you've got those all arranged, then you're going to label those pictures long-term or short-term. So I can see that you know the difference between those two. And then I want you to practice writing your goals in sentence form underneath the pictures. So just leave yourself some room. Don't get pictures that cover the whole piece of paper or the whole poster board. So make sure you have some room to write underneath there. And then you will turn it in when you're done. So if you have any questions, you can, message me or email me and I'll help you with that. And I look forward to seeing what you guys come up with.